So, for the better half of 2 years, people in the community have been railing Blizzard for turning Sylvanas evil, turning her bad, and making her the next big villain of WoW. But let's be honest here. How fair is it to say that Sylvanas turned evil? How fair is it to say she suffered from bad writing to get to that point? Most of you, actually, no, all of you watching this video have hot takes on both of those questions. But the real question you should probably be asking yourself is the one that is the topic of today's video. Was Sylvanas ever that good to begin with? Because by the sounds of some, they write about Sylvanas as if their saint had been tainted by the fires of Satan, even though that saint had been engulfed in that same flame for almost 2 decades. Now, I went around and asked a few people today's question. I will keep them anonymous because they are my friends. I asked, was Sylvanas ever good? And most of them gave the example of her defending Quel'Thalas before being slain by Arthas. For those who are unaware, Sylvanas was once alive and well. In life, she was the Ranger General of Silvermoon who sought to defend Quel'Thalas when the Scourge, led by Arthas Menethil, moved into town and used the Sunwell without asking permission. Because of her transgressions against the Scourge, because of her constant harassment of the enemy to save her people, Sylvanas was slain and turned into a Banshee to serve the Lich King's will. These events play out in Warcraft 3 and ultimately culminate in Sylvanas breaking free and making it her lifelong goal to kill Arthas for turning her into what she is today. That example, however, the example of her defending her people, was before death. After that, after she dies and becomes a Banshee, the lines become blurry, less defined. Let's look at the oldest example of her lines being blurred. Let's head all the way back to Warcraft 3, once again, when Sylvanas ordered Varimothras to kill his brother to show loyalty.
It's over, Balnazar. Varimothras.
Yes, my lady.
Kill him.
But it is forbidden for one of the Nathrazim to kill another. My defection was one thing, but this...
I require one last test of your loyalty, Dreadlord. Do it.
You wouldn't dare.
There, your business is done. Now I want you wretched animals out of my city before I...
Kill him, too.
Gladly.
The capital city is ours, but we are no longer part of the Scourge. From here on out, we shall be known as the Forsaken. We will find our own path in this world, Dreadlord, and slaughter anyone who stands in our way.
Now, from our perspective, they're demons. They are the ultimate enemy. Who cares if she made one kill the other? Well, what if, let's say, they weren't demons? What if, let's say, you switch Varimothras and Balnazar with Varian and Anduin Wrynn? Or perhaps Illidan and Malfurion Stormrage? It completely alters the scene. If you have two beloved, well-known characters in the shoes of the Nathrazim, it makes her look as wicked as she actually is. And while it is just an example, I think it proves a point. And then you have her last line to Varimothras as well.
We will find our own path in this world, Dreadlord, and slaughter anyone who stands in our way.
Which is a clear, if you're not with me, you're against me mentality. And as the lore has shown, Sylvanas meant what she said. If anyone got in her way, if anyone tried to defy her will, they died or paid the ultimate price. Sylvanas and her Forsaken were critical in our successes against many of the threats on Azeroth, but what you could argue as good could also be argued as bad if you looked at it more closely. If you take her efforts against Arthas and the Scourge, revenge was her driving force, and that revenge created the new plague, which in turn caused more harm than good. Then there is after Arthas was defeated, Sylvanas, believing her unlife goal was complete, she killed herself. Without much consideration for what might lie beyond, or what might behold a people she fostered and raised. But even after she returned from the Maul, her goals remained selfish. The invasion of Gilneas, Hillsbrad, and Anderhall served only to distance herself from her enemies, and the same goes for her contributions toward the Darkspear Rebellion. The creation of more and more Forsaken didn't come out of a love for her people, but came from a place of defense. They would be the bulwark that protected her from the living. Only recently have her schemes become more prominent and large scale, mostly due to her rise into the spotlight after becoming war chief of the Horde. So just like with the Light, just like with Bolvar, the Death Knights, and Illidan, she's easily as much of a villain as she is a hero. It really all depends on what angle you're looking at it from. So I implore you to take any event from Sylvanas' lore and analyze it. More often than not, you'll find her actions were more harmful than good. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding this video, WoW, or its lore, you can leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to read each and every one of them. Thanks for watching.